We are the one, the light in the dark. One heart, one world, one spark. We are the one, together we rise. One dream, one voice, one sky.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Women Empowered Across the World. This is our podcast, and my podcast hosts today are Jackie Ziccoli from Arizona, the Global, and Linda Madden from Fort Lauderdale, and she's global in my White Yay program also. And today we have an amazing guest, Zania D. I've known her for quite a long time, and we are very excited to have her come and inspire many of us inside her story. So, Zana, come and join us.
Amazing. So great to be here. Thank you, ladies. I like being in circles of women. I love it.
Yeah.
Just you want me to just
Yeah.
jump in? I'm gonna
Just share your story with us.
dive right in. So thank you so much for having me. Where can I start? I'll start with this. Who I am, my life purpose is to know that who I am is the light, that God is within me. And inside of me learning this, going deeper into this, um, hopefully I can awaken that in others, and we could as a human race awaken to who we are, come together and come from the highest frequency of love and peace and enlightenment. So that's the big picture. So I will talk to you about my journey, and I will circle back to what I'm doing right now in my life, but I will start here. I've spent my life seeking that spirituality, that light within me. And I've done it in many ways, but one of the longest thread in my life is I had a yoga and a spiritual center for 16 years where I specialized in teaching yoga, teaching meditation, but specifically teaching others to teach yoga and meditation, and then take that as a business and go and share it in whether yoga studios was your thing or, teenage rehab centers, which I focused on. I loved working with young women and showing people how to go in and have that as a career. So I did that for a while. And you know how they say you teach what you need to learn the most, right? So my life consisted of me telling people that life is happening for you, right? And helping people to discover what I call is your soul lesson. So we would look for the most difficult thing that you went through in life, the most challenging thing, and then seek out what the soul lesson is in that, and to get to a place eventually of not only ownership, but gratitude for that thing happening. So it was a process I would take people through. And as I looked in my own life, I'd gone through some challenging things and I had turned them into lessons, and I was teaching people these things. And I was like, I had it figured out. I had it figured out. I had life figured out. I had my life purpose figured out. I could tell you what your life purpose is. And that was awesome. Fast forward, I'm 42 years old and I get pregnant for the first time and I carry a child. And a little bit of a trigger warning if you're a mother. This is the traumatic part of my life. Well, it was the most traumatic and the most intense part of my life so far. So I gave birth to this beautiful boy, and he came out dead. He was a gift, and he was an angel. So I bring this up because that was the time in my life where I looked up at God and I was WTF. Like everything so far that I have been teaching and embodying, I was like, how do I bring life happens for me to this? How do I bring gratitude to this? My whole life teachings, like, it was like everything became sand, and like it just felt like there was nothing that I can touch anymore, that I could hold anymore, that made any sense. But I also knew, like at first I remember sitting in the hospital and I was talking to God and I was like, I don't like this. I know, I know I need to like be bigger than this or something, but I don't like it. And I didn't like it. And it's what propelled me to where I am now. And I'm still not, I don't have anything figured out. I am, it actually had me get what a kindergartner I am in the school of life, as at least, in this physical realm. Like there was just so much more for me to learn. And the seeking I was doing was because I was living life at such a superficial level. But like I love all of them, Carol. I love Jesus, I love Buddha, I love Muhammad,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love
Mhm.
Krishna.
Mhm.
I've been with all of them,
All of
and
them.
I am just like in love with all of them. Yet that seeking brought me to like life wanted me to go deeper. And perhaps my soul, like if we're all connected and we have God within us, God, my soul, the universe, source, whatever you wanted to call it, wanted to knock at my door and say, girl, it's time to go deeper. Because what that brought me to, one was to my knees, but it also brought me to the realization that I haven't been living from faith. I've been living from fear.
Mm.
I've been wanting to have life happening for me, yet life was still happening to me. Like it was so conceptual. And I remember asking God, like, God, what do I do with my life now? Like I didn't have my yoga studio anymore. I didn't know what to do with my life because I had set up my I have a new baby and he just woke up. We'll get to him in a second. But I had set up my life to take care of a baby at the time, and I had nothing to do. Like I had all this free time. So one thing that God threw my way was comedy. So I went and I took a comedy class, which is funny. My mom was like, "Good thing you took a comedy class because you're not very funny. You need a little bit of help." So I went and I took a comedy class and I developed like a 5 minute stand-up comedy thing. It was at the improv. So I got to like get on stage at the improv and perform. And I will tell you, if you ever feel like you need therapy, comedy is cheaper than therapy in most instances, and it's quite effective. So I felt like once I got on that stage, I had taken like I've never taken heroin, but I felt like I took a drug that was highly addictive that I will never get over. Like I just fell in love with being on stage, but not only being on stage, but laughing with people and taking serious matters. Like I had just went to the doctor that day. I'll never forget this. My first comedy class, I had just been to the doctors and I had them remove my hemorrhoids. Okay. This is a woman's show. Hemorrhoids. Okay. I had them remove my hemorrhoids. And I remember my first joke, Jackie, was why do they call them hemorrhoids? Why don't we call them asteroids? Am I allowed to say this on here? So, and then taking like the heaviness and finding the laughter and finding the joy and finding just, the life is so beautiful when we remove even like the grieving, that I was able to grieve with such pureness, like to feel sadness without the guilt and the shame that first came up when he passed, because my default was to, what did I do wrong? Or I always fail. I'm always the one that loses. Why can't I ever win? Like all that was pushed to the side, and I was able to just feel sadness. And I have to tell you, it's a privilege to feel the depth of sadness without all that other caca. Because it's just, I don't want to say it's just part, but it is part of the beauty of life. The whole canvas of life includes that sadness and includes the joy. So
Oof.
oof, I know it's a lot. So I'm going to back up to asking God, God, what is it that you want me to do? So I dove into comedy. I did that for like a year and a half to 2 years. I mean, I was on stage every night just talking shit, just talking all kinds of crap. And it was so healing because I don't know if there's any other way to be as authentic like that in front of people and to just be so raw. So that completely shifted my life. Then fast forward, I had a woman approach me who was a friend of mine, but like more like of an acquaintance. And remember, like I'm in this spiritual world, yoga, meditation, and she approaches me about this money thing. She's like, look, we are transforming this country. We are not leaving any family behind. Um, and I'm like, what is this? Like, and I remember being like, really, God, like you send me like this money finance thing. It's so not who I am. But what I got at the time was it was a prayer that was answered for me because I had turned 42 and I had the passing of my son and I was really looking at my life and where I had gotten to at that point. I was very fulfilled. I had a great community. I was in a great relationship. My family rocks. Everything's awesome. But the only area of my life where I felt really small was the area of finances. Somewhere along my life. And I can see it somewhere along the line. I I went through some financial trauma in my 20s. And then I turned to spirituality and I said, you know what? This is a good place to hide. Like in term of finances, it's a good place to, let's say, pretend like I'm okay with living off of very little. Because, in the spiritual world, it's kind of like cool to like not care about money. And it's a big inauthenticity in that community as well, which is something that I had to discover within myself because what I was hiding was I don't know much about money. And there's something deep within me, like with my relationship with money and my relationship with myself and God, my worthiness that was missing. And through all my self-development and all my growth, I had skipped over this thing with money, which by the way, we talk about like money and all that, but it's really about me. It's my relationship with myself. And there's something about my relationship with myself that I had stepped over, I haven't dealt with, I haven't gotten to the bottom of, I haven't looked deep enough to have that transformation show up in the physical realm where I would go from where I felt then, which was like, damn, like I did all this my whole life. I've given my heart, I've given my effort, I've given my knowledge, my wisdom, and I'm not where I want to be. I'm not able to retire my mom right now. I'm not able to open or contribute to all the orphanages I want. I can barely pay my bills. Don't have savings. I don't have retirement. And it was a wake-up call. So when I got that phone call, this is Tandre. He's the miracle that came 6 months ago that completed the whole healing. Maybe I'm still in some of it, but he definitely was a big part of it. So when this friend approached me about the money thing, we're back there. I was open. And I wasn't open to doing it like my profession, but I was open these very let's call simple financial concepts, like compare it to like how we learn how to add, subtract, and multiply in school. Like these are concepts that financially, majority of us did not learn. And that part gave me a lot of space for myself because I was like, what's wrong with me that I don't know this stuff? And I think a lot of us feel that way with money. Like we don't have it together or we don't have it where we want it to be. And then we're ashamed because I should know better. And what I learned is the system doesn't teach us these things. We don't learn these things in school. So I wasn't alone. And
Mm.
knowing that I wasn't alone, helped me. It helped me just to like deal with where I am now, which is like, okay, well, there's a lack of knowledge here. So let me educate myself. And I did. In the last almost 3 years now, not only have I shifted my mindset around money, I've transformed more in that area in the last 3 years than I have in my whole life because I was focused on it and I became aware that it was a blind spot for me. And then I got really inspired by what I get to do in my life now. Like I set up this guy, I set him up his own bank. We call it your own bank. So by the time he's 21, he's going to have access to $500,000 cash. You like that? You're happy about that. Tax free interest free, that so he's going to be the first generation in our family that is not dependent on banks, that won't be paying interest for mortgages, credit cards, car loans, student loans. That excites me. So when he came about, I created something called Crypto Mama, which is not only about cryptocurrency, that's a whole other conversation, but it's about empowering other mothers to take the steps necessary to clean up our own relationship with ourselves, right? Because they learn from us just by watching us. And when it comes to money, we all learned about money by watching our parents. God bless them. My parents are beautiful. I love them. They did the best they can do with what they know, and they did a fantastic job. Look at me. I'm amazing. My brothers are amazing. God bless. And in the area of money, they just did not have this education. Right. So we just modeled them just like he is now modeling me. So my new like, and this is so, it's new to me and it's exciting, but my new mission, and it's the same thing because I've always just stood for freedom. I just want to be free. I want you to be free. I want us all to be free, right? And live in this the grace and the beauty of God and love. And money is no exception to that. It's part of our life. It's a big part of our life. It's what allows us to do what we do to fulfill on our purpose, to go, and maybe I won't open an orphanage, but maybe I'll go contribute to 100 orphanages and help them do better and build better. Maybe I don't have to reinvent the wheel, but with resources I can do that. So that's where I am, ladies. That's so here I am now. This guy's in my life. I'm so grateful. He slowed me so much down. I like to be busy and do so much. I'm so creative, and these days, I just, if I, my goal is just to get outside with him, go for a walk, lay in the hammock, listen to the birds. We love to listen to the birds, and be on calls with mothers, fathers, parents, families, business owners, and share this financial education so that we can empower each other, and be free up here, right, from our stories, our past, and be financially free so that we can really move things that we want to move that are important to us.
Beautiful.
My time.
Absolutely beautiful. Yes. Amazing story, my dear. Absolutely an amazing story. And does anybody have questions for her?
Thank you. Thank you for giving me the space to share. Have
Absolutely.
this
I'm so
exhilarating-
excited to be able to share it with other
I,
women.
I just want to say hi, beautiful boy. Hi,
Aunt,
beautiful.
Auntie Jackie and
Look at
Aunt.
that. Look at it. Hi, beautiful. He's so beautiful. Oh my
So,
God.
so amazing. So, such an amazing story. Um, okay, Jackie, you have a question. Go ahead.
What a beautiful story. Such a beautiful story. And it's a shame you're so inhibited.
I was like, oh, you noticed?
Oh my gosh,
And
that's
that's
funny.
what makes it beautiful.
That's
Mm,
right.
That really is the key to the whole story, is that through this gut-wrenching change that you call your past,
mm,
that you are able to be open with the freedom that you have. And that's why you're going to do well, is because you're allowing other people that same freedom and they have not had it. So um, I respect and I am so glad to be able to share that beautiful little boy who is so innocent and looks just like his mother.
Yep.
And thank you for sharing him with us. But I'll ask the same old question, in which Carol could say word for word. What is it that you need?
Hmm. Wow. Well, thank you for asking that, Jackie. I noticed right away this uncomfortableness when you asked,
Yep.
and then this excitement, like a little girl, like, wow, what do I need? The first thing that comes to my mind is like having opportunities to share. I have books, art, courses. I'm so creative, and like it's like I sit in my art studio, which could be anywhere in my house, and I create. I write, and then what I need help in is like I want to say an audience, but it's more like the people that I can touch with my sharing, that I can have access to them. I find it's not my skill or my gift yet to do that work. Does that make sense? So I can create and create and create and create, and I can share and share and share and share. And oftentimes I do it with very little amounts of people. And somehow I've been content with that, but I know that I can help a lot more people.
Yeah.
What I need is to find them or help them find me.
And that is what this podcast is all about, is getting your story out to many, 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 and that you are able to inspire and empower many, many, many women and mothers to walk in, your footsteps, and move forward inside of their future of their children. How amazing is that, what you've set up for your son? Wow. So
Beautiful. Yes.
I have a question for you, and my question is always the same. Mine is, I focus on the younger people coming up right now. Um, Look, just like you said, money and how we view it, our mindset around it gets formed in our families, in through our parents, through the people that are around us. That is where it comes from. I'm going to ask you, Zaina, how do we set new people on their journey, just coming out of college, coming out of high school? What could you say to them to have them get on that path to really and truly searching for themselves what they want as a mindset for money, instead of adopting what they've been given as for in their mindset for money? What could you say to them to inspire and empower them to set on a path to find what it is they want to adopt as
For
their
you.
mind?
This is for you. I'm going to talk to you
Yeah,
directly.
yeah.
It's such a big question,
No.
Carol. It's a big question because one, I will say this, but I'm not fully there myself in getting this concept, but that money is not real. But then again, money is real because we use it, right? But our ability to attract money is the illusion, like that that money is in relationship to my worth or my accomplishments is the fallacy, it's the lie. So, I have a niece, she's 10 years old, and she asks me a lot of interesting questions. But she asked me, why do you do what you do? Why are you in crypto and finance and all that? And the surface answer is because there's a lot of money in it, and I want to make a lot of money, right? I mean, that's real. And what I would say to her, my son, or anybody starting out is, don't have money be the deciding factor, because you won't be fulfilled. Like, I do what I do because everything I do comes from my purpose in life, which is I'm here to serve other human beings. That's what brings me joy. That's what brings me fulfillment. And I do believe this. I believe that when we are in our joy and we are in our purpose, when we are following our soul's alignment, money flows to us easily. Okay. Yet, Carol, I spent my life believing that, but it wasn't showing up in my life. So what I discovered is like, yes, this is a truth. And there was blockages there for me. And the blockages didn't have to do with money or even like the practical knowledge that I teach people about money, how to save, how to invest, all these things. You can know all these things and still suck, still not do well. You could, because you will not have that flow. You won't be. He
Mhm.
agrees. He agrees. So I would say first focus on what brings you joy and also notice what you do that brings other people joy. And that will direct you in how to use your very precious life here. And I really do believe when we're in alignment with that, when we, like we were talking about, Carol, when I can't differentiate my work from, I've been getting my bicep workout. When I can differentiate my work from my play, then I know I'm in that zone of what they call like the manifesting zone, when we are attracting to us the same frequency of
Yes.
what, okay.
Yes.
Sorry, guys. I'm sure you guys know his decibel has gone up because he's discovered his voice recently. So I'm very proud of him. So that's what I would say is discover what brings you joy and what brings other people joy when you're around and ride that and grow it. And the money does come.
He's gonna.
Okay.
Nope. Nope.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
He's gonna cry.
All right. Does anybody else have any questions? No?
I have one. I wanted to ask, we were talking about the process of the grieving. Did you seek out help from someone else, or how did that work for you to go through that grieving process and then, have another baby? Like there had to been something that, you were doing that brought you to that space where you were okay about having another one, and how you include your firstborn in your life today.
Good
I
question.
love that question, Linda. I was very arrogant when my first one was born. I'd never been to a therapist and I thought like this wasn't a big deal.
Huh.
Okay.
Hi, Bubba. Look at him.
But to be able to have another one is not, it's not easy.
Yeah.
And I couldn't have done it. Okay, Mom. Okay, I hear you. So I was actually seeked out by an angel therapist who I don't think all therapists are like her. She is the most incredible person I've had in my life. She worked with us for 3 years till we had him.
Wow.
And I didn't know how to grieve. I
Yep.
thought this was just, I thought it was no big deal that I had lost a son. Like that's how I coped with it. And I'm grateful that I was just a little humble enough to say, okay, and accept help. She reached out to us and helped us pro bono till he was born. Like, I would say this for any couples, any families that go through something like that, to not take it lightly, because not only is the grieving process a lot, but the crap that comes up from deep inside you and my partner, like, we would wake up at night having anxiety attack, things that came up from when we were children, like a lot came up. So Linda, yeah, I did not do it alone. God sent this woman to us. Yeah, we went from never again to maybe to all right, let's do this. And then the whole process of being pregnant up until giving birth was like going into the fear, into the fear, into the fear. Like there was no avoiding it. So
Yeah.
I'm just so thankful. I'm so thankful. Her name is Camila. We're so thankful for Camila, for her generosity and for her space that she gave for us to grow. And yeah, I will forever be grateful, for her and for God sending her our way.
So
Thank you
beautiful.
for
So
sharing that.
beautiful, my dear. We are so grateful to her that you are in the space you're in today. So
Mhm.
yes, absolutely. Um, grieving is a tough thing. I've been through it many times, and I always got support, always got help to get through it. So, anyway, thank you so much for being an amazing guest on our podcast. Guys, if you love these episodes, we have one on Monday, two on Friday, and we're looking for amazing guests to come and share their stories so we can inspire and empower so many women across the world with our stories. You have a story, and please bring it to us. We are all on LinkedIn. Come find us and say, I'd love to be on your podcast. We are booking right now for August and September. Please join us. And please subscribe to our channel. Please share this. Get it out. Let's make these episodes go viral. We have the power to do that. And that is you sharing it with all of your sphere of influence. So, guys, remember, we all deserve to thrive. Let's do it together. Bye, everyone.
There's no